up, guys? Gonna be cooking again today. This is me, Gaz, and I'm cooking on a Saturday because I'm out of pasta and sauce and stuff again. And hopefully this time, since I've got my phone plugged in, it won't reset on us and kick me off like last time. Now, these are the ingredients I'm planning to use to make my sauce from scratch. Now, most people are gonna want to just use stuff like Prego. Now this is probably the better stuff to get because its sugar is way down there. It's like the 8th ingredient or something. It's good, it's the 8th ingredient, but it could be better. It could be the 0th ingredient. I like to make my own anyway because we only get this fresh mushroom stuff. I don't really like mushrooms, but if you like mushrooms you can add your own in. I like green pepper myself, and I'm going to add in some of this red pepper. You could also mince up your own tomatoes. Hunt's is one of the best stuff I can find because it's just like tomatoes and salt. You're going to need some paste, just one of these small little cans. See? Oh, it's a little baby one. He's so cute. Diced tomatoes. If you want really saucy stuff, I don't like really saucy stuff, but for the sake of those who do want really saucy stuff, just get an extra can of this and stick it in at the end. I'll show you what to do. You need about a pound of beef, some pineapple and juice. Probably only really need the juice part. Olive oil, because it's got to taste like olives, otherwise it won't taste like Italian. Some beef bouillon just to give the beef some extra kick. Lemon pepper, because this one has some sort of like lemony zest to it. You only need the lemon part. If you've got Jif lemon and Italian seasoning, it's not complete without Italian seasoning. You could mix your own, because it's like marjoram, thyme, rosemary, sage, oregano, basil. Got any of the above, because you don't have to have this, it's just mixed in equal proportions. Just do about a capful, just a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, because I'm a bit sensitive to onion and garlic. Also, I'll be using some of this brown rice spaghetti pasta this week, because my wife's allergic to gluten, and so I can't cook normal spaghetti with semolina flour in it, because that's the type of flour she's allergic to. Anyway, first step would probably be to cut up these guys and get them frying in a little olive oil. Put some olive oil. That's overshot of olive oil. You don't even need that much. You should use about a tablespoon, not too much more than that. You get really greasy and unhealthy and stuff. I'm going to add your onion, about that much, and your garlic. And I'm going to use less than usual. I only want a little bit. I'm going to cut up these peppers. So I'm going to cut these up to about a thumbnail in size. I find any bigger than that will make them about the same size as your spoon, and you don't want to scoop up a spoon of sauce and all it be is red pepper. Now that they're all in there, they're all going to be frying together. Turn up the heat a little bit so they all get cooking. But you know, once they've got a good, nice coating of the olive oil, and they've fried up some of their juices into the oil that'd be left over, and absorbed some of the garlic and onion, transfer them over to this little pot, which then will contain your diced and your paste in there. So, as you can probably hear, they're all nice and crispy up now. So what we're going to do is tip all of them in there and mix it up. Oh, my arm is getting nice and hot here. And while they absorb some of the tomatoey goodness, I'm going to put my pound of beef in there and chop it all up. Okay, as you can see, it's all in this big lump right now, which is not going to help it cook all the way through. What we're going to do, just use our spatula to chop it up. Right. So now you see I've got all the beef minced up. Some of it's brown, some of it isn't. But just chuck the lid on, make sure the meat browns up. Meanwhile, stick about 8 cups of water in here with this juggy thing. Set that to boil. The reason why there's a wooden spoon is a little trick I learned, where if you leave the lid on, it'll trap more air, right, and cook quicker. But if you leave the lid fully closed, it'll boil and the bubbles won't pop. And they'll boil over, and that won't be good. So, to save yourself some mess, stick a spoon like that. And it's a wooden spoon, it'll burn, but it won't catch, you know. Well, this one hasn't even burnt yet, and I've been using this for like months and months. So I think they're pretty heat resilient as it goes. And when the water boils, it won't boil past the spoon, and the bubbles will pop, and they'll come back down. When the lid's closed, the bubbles will go up until they reach the top of the dome, and then they'll pop and go back down. But by the time they've reached the top of the dome, they've already come out the side, and you've already got water spillage. So it's not good. That's a little trick for you. These guys are going to start to cook in their own juice a bit, which is nice. Once they start getting to that juicy stage, you can put some of this beef bouillon in. Beef bouillon comes in these cubes, which are rather big, but what you want to do is split that in half and put half in the boiling water so it makes the pasta nice and beefy, and also adds some extra beef kick to our beefy beef. Make sure you add about a capful of this stuff. I'm not even sure how much a capful is at this stage. I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks like a nice healthy amount. And make sure it's all mixed in. I'm going to put some lemon pepper in as well, but let that cook up. Add your lemon pepper and your juice. You only want a pinch of lemon pepper in there, and about a tablespoon or two of pineapple juice just to give it some sweetness, because with the lemon pepper and the tomatoes, especially if you pick some bitter tomatoes, I don't know if there's a way to know which ones are the sweet ones, which are the bitter ones. They always usually end up getting the bitter ones. But when they come in the can, they should be pretty good, so that's why I opt for the can, not the fresh ones. But you can use fresh ones if you so desire. Put some pineapple juice in just to get some nice flavour. This looks like it's browning up nicely, just a few more pink bits to cook out. Other than that, they should be nice. You may, if you're really into the herbs, you may want to put some herbs in here just to give the meat some herbiness as well. I do happen to like the Italian herbs though, so I will be doing that. Kosher salt, or the red Alea sea salt from Hawaii. Any type of sea salt is really good. But also, if you don't happen to have any sea salt, kosher salt, it's pretty good for flavour. Don't use table salt, that shit's nasty. The meat should be all brown, and your sauce should be boiling. I'm going to put that in. Lovely. Let that cook together. Turn off your gas. Don't want to have an accident. This looks like it's doing well. Just remember to turn your meat all into this. Make sure all the meat is covered. Just keep turning it. So now that's all nice and mixed together. Turn down, so it's just a little flame on there, so that will just simmer on its own juices. Where's your lid gone? Oh, there you go. You can have your lid back. And let it simmer, because that's going to cook some of the tomatiness into your reduda. Some salt in this now. Whoops, that was a bit much. Oh, it's going to be dead salty. That's okay. So at this stage, some of the salt will actually cook out in the evaporation process. Meanwhile, let's just wash this up. Remember to put away the ingredients you don't need. Clear some space on the side for when you prepare. That looks about boiled. Now, this is a good stage in which to add just a little bit more olive oil. Because you know, olive oil and water doesn't mix. But at this temperature, even the olive oil will have trouble maintaining its viscosity. So what you end up with is some like oil mixed in with the water to make sure that the pasta doesn't stick together. Because especially with brown rice pasta can be quite sticky, and you don't want it all sticking and clumping together. The water is pretty much boiled, which is good, because that's a good stage or indicator your pasta is ready to go in. Whee! Yay! So just make sure that they all melt, well, sort of, and sink below the water line, because they should pretty much instantly get there with this heat. Ooh, that's pretty intense. Okay, put that on and put the lid back. Let it contain some of its heat, but still give it some space to escape. Let's see how this is doing. Nice and bubbly. And keep that at a moderate low temperature, and this one at high temperature so it continues to boil. This will be ready in about 7 to 10 minutes. Some pasta takes longer to cook than others, but as a general rule, 10 minutes I think is long enough. Let's put the olive oil away. Put it away. And I don't really need the Prego. It's just showing that to you as an example, just to make sure that your meat doesn't stick to the bottom. But for the most part, that is some pretty kick-ass sauce. As I said, this is the bare minimum of sauce that you all need for this serving, and that's cool and all, but if you do happen to like saucy stuff, we'll be adding this in once we've drained the water off of the pasta. So once the pasta's nice and sticky, see that's bendy but it's not sticky. Once it's all puffy, then you gotta test it for stickiness, and the way you test it for stickiness is you throw it against the kitchen wall or the ceiling and see if it sticks. See if that sticks. Haha. So yeah, for the most part anyway, we're done. This is the sauce all made, and that's the pasta on the go. And you know, any idiot can cooked pasta. But, whew. Let's have a look inside. Are you puffy? They said brown rice can get real sticky in here. White rice is worse. Brown rice is quite starchy as it is, so it can get rather sticky real quick. Especially if it's not made with egg. I find that ones, the organic variety that don't use egg, they use some sort of substitute. Ingredients: brown rice and water. No egg. It's very strange. I don't think they use any substitute, but some of them that are gluten-free use egg substitute, and that causes them to stick. So these guys look like they're getting there. They're pretty soft. They don't look puffy. And I don't know if rice pasta is meant to get puffy. Just want one of these for now. Well, that almost stuck to the ceiling, but as you can see, it's still got some of its form to it, and that's kind of weird, because it's been in there for quite a while now, and it should have softened right up. But this is brown rice pasta, so I have absolutely no idea how this is going to turn out. So I don't usually cook brown rice pasta, but I want something I can share with my wife, you know? So this is the kind of consistency you want. Nice and floppy, or jiggle jiggle jiggles when you pick it up. And if I can isolate just one of these, we'll do the see if that sticks test. Woo! That's a hot. Whoops. I missed. Got wrapped around my finger. This shit's sticky anyway. I'm pretty sure this is sticky enough because I can't get it to leave my finger. There you go. Lovely and sticky. Oh, is it falling? Hey, there you go. So, that's a nice consistency to your pasta. You need to drain it off now and add in the tomato sauce from both your sauce can and your meat sauce pan. So, put the sauce, put the extra sauce in, and put the pasta in, and then put, oh, damn, that's hot. Put this stuff on top. Whoosh! And let it mix together. Use your special pasta spoony fork. Pasta sport. Why not? So, use that. Mix it all up. Make sure you've got a nice thick gloopy doodah. And let it all cook together. You will be very happy with that amount of sauce if you don't like your noodles dry. Whoop. Well, that excuse you, young man. I think I've got the heat turned up too high. That should be some really good meat sauce. And I'm not sure about the brown rice pasta. I'll have to try one of these out and get back to you on that. Not too bad. Of course, you can't beat the traditional pasta, of course. You know, made with the semolina flour. But, you know, this stuff's pretty good as it stands. Delicious. Well, anyway, so let that simmer for a little while, but pretty much you are done. And, but if you don't like the consistency, you can always boil some more pasta and add it in later, thicken it up, or, you know, balance the consistency. You can always add more pasta. The adding the more sauce thing is like if you add too much tomato, it'll be too tomatoey, you know, and then you won't have enough meat. So you got to be careful of the balance between the meat, the tomato, and the pasta. And don't let one outpower the other. Anyway, stay creative, and I'll catch you all later. Take care, guys.